All right, welcome everyone. Wake Up Wednesday for the 2nd of April. Let me switch my cameras. There we go. Okay, Wake Up Wednesday. So today's Wake Up Wednesday is going to be a little bit of a hybrid call. I was hoping we would have a few more of the unit members here so that this could double as a team call for us as well. So while we got Paulie here by proxy with Jeremy, Scott should be joining us.
She will actually be joining us separately here in a few minutes, but she'll be here in a minute.
Okay, cool. Scott's in a car. Oh yeah, right on. Let me just message him right here. Who else? Michael hasn't been showing up the last few. So we're gonna actually treat today's Wake Up Wednesday as a bit of a hybrid call, more of like an internal call, just because we weren't able to have our call earlier and we haven't talked since Saturday in terms of the team. So a whole bunch of stuff here to bring everybody up to speed on. The first of being in no particular order, and I made a list, but it's typed in the calendar somewhere, so I'm just going to go off the top of my head. In no particular order, kind of here's the business. So today marks 1 week that we are, in my mind, officially up and running with the Wake Up Call. Now, technically, it was 3 years ago yesterday that we incorporated the company here in Ontario. So on that note, I'll just give you guys just some updates on kind of the corporate structure, where we're going, so on and so forth. And the reason is I am going to be producing a daily vlog for the next 90 days, 100 days, maybe the next 365 days, we'll see. But there will be a daily vlog. Yesterday, if you look in the 90-day video journey, I posted my vlog. It's long. It won't be that long every day. It was 18 minutes long. But a daily vlog of building a $100 million company from the inside out. So everything, I'm divulging everything. So there will be a daily vlog that I'm posting on the 90-day video journey. Yesterday was day 6, today's day 7. It will also be posted on YouTube. So Keo, I might need your help with this. But honestly, I'm getting so darn good at capturing and organizing my content, I might not. There's a great app on my iPhone called Clips. This is an Apple app. You literally just press the button when you want to record. And I've been getting better and better at just press record, whatever throughout the day. Yesterday, all in, it was 18 minutes. It was 11 o'clock by the time I got to posting it. And I was like, I'm not spending a single minute editing this because who cares? It's day 6. The first of the vlog series, but I wanted to get it up. So that's up on so just so you guys kind of know the lay of the land. So I'm going to be posting that daily vlog and it'll get better and better and better. Eventually, Keo, I'll pull you in if it works to where we can turn these around, and it might be like a 1-day lag. So we'll publish it the following day instead of trying to do it the same day. So I'll record it like today's, maybe record it. Maybe we'll even try it. I'll record it, load it somewhere to the cloud. You give it a rough cut. Put my Sonic signature bumper each end, Wake Up branding each end, boom. And then I'll have you post it to my 90-day video journey and to my YouTube, and probably to TikTok and probably to Instagram. And again, it's daily vlog, building a $100 million brand from the inside out. So even if you're part of the Wake Up family and you're not part of the unit, you get to still vicariously have the same experience as all of us, because it's being published. So this is obviously part of the marketing strategy as well. And I also want to lead by example here, that, you know, in this day and age, the purpose of the Wake Up Co is that you wake up, that the purpose of the Wake Up Co is to help, whether you're a unit member or a family member or a collective member, and I'll explain what those 3 different types of members are in a minute. Your future self is thanking you for who you are becoming. So you may not identify with being a professional content creator, but every single one of you is going to become a professional content creator, whether you like it or not. So I'm leading by example and hope to just inspire you guys to do the same. That's kind of what I'm doing now. I've got a lot on my plate, but it's very, very manageable. So I'm day 28 of my run streak. I just got back from my run. I'm day 17 of my 10 for 10. Day 17 also of 90-day video journey. Day 7 of the daily vlog, even though it's day 7 of building the $100 million brand, but it's only, it'll be that's not true, because we're going to go back. Keo, what we're going to do is we're going to produce day 1, 2, 3, 4, because I have all the footage captured. It just hasn't been cut down. So we'll produce episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll have, in 100 days, we'll have 100 episodes, sort of a thing. So we're going to kind of do what Casey Neistat did like 10 years ago, what put him on the map, right? He did 800 videos over 800 days, and that paved the way for him. That's how he got famous, right? And that's how you get good at creating content, is by creating a lot of content and having really, really tight systems and processes in place. Okay, so just to kind of recap, the company is 3 years old as of April 1st, but it's really only a week old energetically. The birth, so to speak, is always conceived 3 years ago. The gestation period was extra long, 3 years. And the birth, to me, was last week, Wake Up Wednesday. As a company, thematically wise, and also with the $100 million brand YouTube series, which will also be produced. So there's the daily vlog, and then there will be the long form weekly version on YouTube. So week 1, week 2, week 3. So I don't know if you're up for it, Keo, but I've got about 20 hours of footage for week 1. And I already have a rough, so we'll see. We'll get to it. But there'll be a little bit of a backlog. So there will be, and the reason it's called Building a $100 Million Brand, Wake Up $100 Million Brand, is that particular YouTube series will be one of our marketing tools. I mean, people are going to find us through that long form content, right? And had a really, really awesome strategy call today with Aaron Parkinson, one of my oldest friends and original business partners. Him and I launched Carbon Copy Pro together. He now runs a marketing agency out of the Cayman Islands. So I spoke with him to discuss, what technology do we need to be building on, funnel-wise and whatnot, in order to be positioned in 60 to 90 days where we can contract them as an agency to start doing media buys. And they also manage Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram and Meta campaigns. So Paulie, I'll be getting with you. We talked through the tech stack of what we want to build, and it's not going to be ClickFunnels. It's going to be GHL. So I'll get with you. So we're going to build our own funnel, build out the offers and all of that, and start running our own TikTok and YouTube traffic ourselves and get everything up, proof of concept, establish some metrics, and then we'll circle back to him in 60 to 90 days when we're ready for outside traffic. So the next 90 days really as a company is to build out all of our systems and processes, build out all of our products. And it's going to happen quicker than it would normally take to build it from scratch. Because, for example, Incubate is already built. To launch that, just have to get it on the calendar. I've already done a whole bunch of rounds of those. So we just have to dust that off and boom, bring that to life. The big work that's right in front of us right now is going to be setting up the free community on School, setting up the funnels, polishing and bringing the book, which will be the front end lead magnet, the book and version 4 of the playbook, getting those done and dialed and creating the front end offer. Like I said, building the funnels, building out the CRM and all of our onboarding processes, procedures and whatnot, so that we're ready for traffic. Then we'll market the Wake Up offer to my list first. So I've got a list of about 10, 11,000 people it's a buyer's list from over the last 15 years, relatively warm list. So we'll market to that list to start, bring the first influx of customers in through that, get the first few collective partners up and running. So just real quick to touch on, so what is the collective, what is the unit, and what is the family? So the Wake Up family is the community. Family, community, interchangeable words. The Wake Up unit is what we're calling the internal team. A unit is short for unity, unity short for community. So it's a subset of the community. And the reason for that, little bit of a play on words, thanks to Michael for that, is because everybody on the unit started as part of the community. And everyone in the collective will also come from the community first. So we are a product of our own product, and we are an incubator. We will cultivate and create individual brands, which will then, when they are ready to then express their gift to the world. We've already identified two of the first, or the two first will be Christophe Perrin and Julie Hamilton. And third, Carleen Clement. So those three are already part of the unit, and they are also, we've had conversations already of them with their individual brands being three of the first, like basically the first three guinea pigs on the platform or the portal. And the way I describe it is the Wake Up platform in some ways is kind of like the Uber or Airbnb platforms, in the sense that it connects the restaurant with the person who's hungry. It makes that connection, and it processes the transaction. It takes a transaction fee, but it connects the buyer and the seller. The only difference is our platform won't preclude individual collective members. Once they've got their brand up and running their business, it won't preclude them from promoting it directly to the market outside of Wake Up. In fact, we're going to encourage them to do that, because when they bring a customer, when they gain a new customer, say Julie gets also certified as an emotion code practitioner, and she has a stream of customers coming in from her own marketing efforts. The idea would be that she would bring them into the Wake Up collective, and she would then earn a partner commission on anything Wake Up that customer purchased. So it goes both ways. It's a two-way street. So there you have the three components, the three types of members, so to speak. Any questions on anything I covered? That was a lot. That was a lot that I just dumped on you guys right there.
Do you just envisage subscription like you had with the collective?
Yes, there will be a free. Yeah, so there'll be a free community. Haven't decided if we'll use school or not. We may use GHL. So I don't know. I got to talk to Paulie. Parky, my old business partner, says that like GHL has a robust community platform as well. We may just use GHL. School is super overrated. It's super simple, which is cool. I haven't decided what we'll use as a platform for the free community. So there'll be the book and the playbook, supported by the WhatsApp group, and a free community. So it may be GHL, and then there'll be a $29 paid community membership and a $98 paid membership. The $98 paid membership includes the $29 if they upgrade in the first 30 days, and it includes reseller rights and affiliate training. That will be the monthly. That includes the affiliate program and the reseller rights. Yeah. Incubate will be, I will also be a collective member. Incubate will be a Jay Kubasek branded product on the Wake Up platform. So just like Julie will have products on the platform, I will have products. So the products that I will have on the platform are $1,000 per year group coaching program, which will be geared towards, similar to what Dan Martel does with his elite program, which I used to be part of. I'm not currently part of it anymore, but basically it's a group coaching program for aspiring online entrepreneurs, anybody looking to build a brand online. So I'm going to model it after his. His is $3,500 per year. Mine will be $1,000 per year. So that we're going to scale that relatively quick. I'm going to also have Incubate, which is $2,000, which is a 12-week weekly live program. Actually, it's every second week. That will be $2,000 retail, but probably something super discounted, like $500 for anybody who's legacy coming in. There will be Brand Incubator, which is an upsell to Incubate, where we'll actually create the brand for you. I don't know if I'll partner with Gareth again or if we'll build an agency in-house to do that, Brand Incubator. Then there will be events, there'll be retreats as well. There'll be wake up retreats, which will be $3,000 to $5,000. I'm hoping to get the first retreat on the books for later this year. And then there will also eventually be like a really high-end mastermind, which is like a $25,000 mastermind for like once people are making the multiple 6 to 7 figures, like a really high-end mastermind. And then I will also offer VIP days, which will be like fly to Toronto, spend 24 hours with me, all inclusive, 24 hours masterminding, just working on your business. Modeling that after Dan Martell again, and that'll be like around the $20,000 price point. So those will be my product offerings under the Jay Kubicek brand on the WakeUp platform. So WakeUp itself, the only products that WakeUp has itself as a platform is the 29 sub, the 98 sub, and then it'll provide, as an agency, we'll provide services to people coming in. But honestly, I might provide, as the agency, might provide that under the Jay Kubicek brand, just to keep the technology and the WakeUp brand itself really flat and simple, kind of like Instagram, kind of like Uber Eats or Airbnb or the App Store, for example, which really is just the platform, right? And anyone in the community that has something of value that we believe will be of value to the WakeUp family or the WakeUp community, will go through. We'll have a process that we're mapping out. And I guess probably what we'll do next on this call is kind of talk now. We'll shift to talking about the individual roles and who's working on what. So kind of heading in that direction. Scott's area of expertise is the business systems, the back end, the customer journey flows, and all of that stuff. So right now, the vision is that in order to get into the collective, you got to come in through the family. So in other words, we're not going to go partner with Brandon Nelson to come in and provide his services on the platform. The only service providers, practitioners, et cetera, in the collective, they're all homegrown. How freaking cool would that be? So we're genuinely an incubator. And then that way we have quality control over the brands that we're building, so that it's more like a cluster of grapes where everything is complementary and fits together. And it's not like this dog eat dog competitive sort of a world. If Bradley Nelson wants to come in through the front door like everybody else and fits hand in glove, you know what I mean? Like a kernel on a cob of corn, beautiful, come on in. But I don't really, and I'm not going to go as far as saying it will never happen, because inevitably, I mean, there may be someone like Matt Cook, for example, who's a great example. I was talking with Carlene about him earlier. So he's a product of the product in the sense that he came through Brand Incubator and Incubate and SFM, DEA, Launch You, and now he's built his own brand, the manifestation programs and whatnot. So someone like that, we may backdoor into the collective because they are kind of a product of the product vis-a-vis legacy programs. But I don't really see us bringing in outside people. I feel like it's too risky. We want to build this to be really tight and right, and also have control over the types of there'll probably eventually be like an application process that anyone could apply for to be a member of the collective, but that's something that we're going to want to control really, really tightly, I think. So good question. Any other questions?
I have a question. I think you're right without that they need to come through the WakeUp family, because with everything that you've been through, and we all know you as the person from SFM right in the beginning, and you've not only touched us with what you've been through, but you've touched us because we're all mirrors as well. There's parts of us that have broken down in your process of breaking down and coming back, and we've all felt it. And I think that feeling that's in us. We're tight. We are a tight unit, you know, and we are a family, you know, and I don't know how I'm describing this, but yeah, we feel it's not just your journey that you've experienced. We've been part of that journey with our emotions and our stuff that we've had to shed as well, because you've shone the light on what we've needed to heal.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to.
Beautiful. Yeah. Scott says he wants to own the ditch, the Divorce Academy. Love it. Yeah, take the lead on that. And you know, the cool thing is that we'll collaboratively as a unit support individuals coming through this incubation process to bring their gift to the platform. I really love this. I mean, this is a family business in every respect. It's not just called the family, but it is a family business.
Yeah, I also started off an actual certification to become a divorce coach as well. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. So I want to finish that off. And once I get certified, then at least I've got the accreditation to sit behind it as well. Then I can build out my own product. And I've even been talking to a lawyer as well and solicitations to get all the legal elements done as well, because that's an absolute minefield for anybody going through it. And if you've never been through it, I can tell you it's a challenge. But I think that I was always going to run the Divorced Dads Academy because of being a dad and actually doing it that way. But then that narrows the market. And, you know, at the end of the day, speaking to a lady that's going through divorce is no different to speaking to a guy going through divorce. The added
I would
benefit.
say you could, I would say it could go either way, Scott.
Mhm.
You can specialize within, because there is something special you could do with only men as a men's perspective and somebody else's women. Or it's split or somehow, but yeah, no, 100%. Like these are all individual, because we're collectively as a unit going to want to, and here's the beautiful thing is you can be part of all three or any one of the three. There's no like bifurcations, like, well, no, you're on the outside here, so you can't, like, anybody can be a member of the unit. And Scott, what I would envision is like all these new folks, like Jules joining today, Carlene joining today or yesterday. I mean, like, I've got 3 more people that have reached out. Richie has reached out. I don't know if Richard, James Bowden is on here today. He's not in the WhatsApp group for some reason.
No, he doesn't. It clashes with his role, with his working role, so he can't be in a WhatsApp group. So what I do is I just email him the link. But there's been a time shift also, so that might be a bit of a challenge too, right now.
Yeah. So there was some talk maybe he would be a good fit for whatever. But my point is that I'd like us to have almost like this relatively open door policy where anybody who wants to be part of the unit just to observe for 30 days. And I'm not saying we kick them on after 30 days, but after 30 days, if there's not a fit and a role doesn't become apparent or obvious, or there's just not a natural fit, then they can be moved back out. But why not, right? Why not give people the opportunity to see what it's like on the inside? I mean, I've never heard of a company being this open and transparent with their internal operations. Never. And there's a lot of risks to doing it this way. And that's why we have to make sure that we're building everything with highly attuned energy. And we're all highly attuned individuals. And I feel really confident with this group of first 10. If I don't sniff it out, one of you guys will sniff it out if something's not quite right. You know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about bad apple making it too far in the unit. So let me just talk really quickly about, okay, do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Diagram? Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can see my mouse, yeah?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so I'll run through this really quick. So this is the funnel coming in. Paid media, earned media. Earned media will be the YouTube weekly series, the daily vlog, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook, podcasts that I'm a guest on, public speaking, Once the funnel has been built and we can handle the traffic, we'll be doing media buys as well. We're going to build this funnel on GHL. Initially, we're going to build it in-house. Paulie is going to head up that project. Super excited about that. So left to right, the customer journey is the entry point of the funnel is the best-selling book, 99%, with the free bonus formerly called the CT 101 playbook. It's going to be called the alignment code version 4. We've already started circulating it. If you would like to contribute to version 4, please contact Paulie. Version 4 will also be used on the funnel, the Go High level funnel, as a lead magnet. It will also be coded. We have to figure this out, Paulie. Coded, ideally coded that when somebody shares it, once they've become a member of the free community, I guess this probably means that we'll have to build it all on GHL. Once they become a member of the free community, we automatically create an affiliate ID for them so that when they share the playbook, it's already coded to their affiliate link, but they don't earn any commissions on it until they upgrade to a paid member. They'll be able to earn basic commissions for the $29 paid membership fee. The full affiliate platform won't be unlocked until they're paying the $99. So this is the customer journey in terms of, book, free WhatsApp group, supporting the book, join the free community, $29 and $99 paid community. This below here, you guys all know what Satir is. I will just super quick run through it. This is the fundament. You've got to understand this from a psychology standpoint if there's any hope of you understanding the customer journey. So, 1, late status quo. Jay Kubasek, happily married to Steph Morris, building the Wake Up Co. It's 2023 and life is good. Status quo. Change happens, 1A, and there's a period of resistance. Jay finds out all of a sudden that he is separated. We call this 1A, the hashtag WTFU. That's when I got the Wake the Fuck Up t-shirt. Got the hat, got the t-shirt. Okay. That wake up call thrust Jay into a period of chaos. It was an existential crisis, identity crisis, midlife crisis, three-quarter life crisis maybe for someone. And Jay is thrust into a period of upheaval, crisis. And, this is where the true character, the foundation is now tested. What foundation is in place? Is Jay going to completely self-destruct as a result of this domino effect? Is Jay's life a house of cards? Or, Rob, I'm on a webinar. Could you please? Yeah, it was grouchy. Rob just got up from his nap and he's yelling about dirty dishes.
I'm not yelling. I'm just cleaning up here.
Yeah, there's Rob Kubasek, everyone. So I put up with this every fucking day, guys. Anyways, so you don't have to clean up. Go back to bed.
You shit, wipe your ass. Move on. How about that? It was pizza sauce.
Can you imagine living with this guy?
Can you imagine teaching a family? If you can't put up with your brother, can you imagine 1,000 people below you?
This is right at the chaos. In the Satir, it's in the chaos, right?
Talk about chaos, yeah. This is the epitome of chaos.
It's the epitome of chaos. It's reacting.
Okay, so there's the period of chaos. Now, so chaos is, Jordan Peterson is one of my favorite lecturers on this topic. I'm a big old school Jordan Peterson. I'm not a huge fan of new school Jordan Peterson, even though I think a lot of his stuff is still really, really good. But ideologically, I don't agree with him in a lot, but the old school psychologist, Jordan Peterson, you can't touch him. He's incredible. And the message here is that you will live a life of chaos until you learn the lessons that life is trying to teach you. And the primary lesson that will get you across the line, the transformation idea from chaos to integration, which is from yin to yang, right? From old to new, that vertical line there, the transforming idea, once you step across the line of personal responsibility, where you're willing to accept radical responsibility for everything. It's not your fault, you're not to blame, but you're responsible for it. Once you come to full
dirty dishes.
Once you accept full responsibility for everything in your life, okay, you can then change it. You are now empowered to change it. So that paradigm shift lines up with our funnel. They will join the community, and we're going to switch back to the customer journey because this is superimposed on the customer journey. They will join the community when they are ready to take responsibility for their life. So the book and the playbook are going to meet them at some point to the left of that line. Late status quo, resistance, change happening, chaos could be anywhere in that journey. But they will not join the community until they're ready to take responsibility for their life. And how do we know that? Well, the call to action will be join a community of like-minded people who are ready, willing, and able to take radical responsibility for everything in their life. Come join our free community. Make sense? Okay, now integration is where you are now given a chance by God to integrate what the fuck God is trying to teach you in this phase in your life. I'm right now in integration phase. I've just come through another round the mountain. You guys all know that. I'm now in an integration phase. And dependent on how quickly I've learned and quickly I do the emotional work and quickly I do the healing and quickly I build the proper foundation and the proper habits vis-a-vis things like the 10 for 10, vis-a-vis things like the emotion code, vis-a-vis cleaning up my karma, whatever, can I move through the integration phase? The integration phase can take 10 years, could take 10 weeks, could take 10 months, could take 10 days. So that's the integration phase. Integration phase is also the dating phase. We want to get them in for free into the integration phase. So what Scott is going to take us through here after I finish going through the customer journey is or maybe he won't, but we have a beautiful diagram hand drawn by Scott. There's a heart in the middle. The integration phase, we will support them through the integration phase for free. So we're going to reach a lot of freaking people. And in the integration phase, they will make, because they're probably on the rocks financially as well. And we're not going to be one of those with our hand in the pocket. We're going to disrupt the entire personal development, spiritual, self-help, motivational industry and put it on its head. Because we will provide for free 100 times more value than anyone is providing paid. Leave your credit card in your wallet. We don't need it. And it may be like activate your free membership to put your credit card in. And maybe it's the first month is free or something like that. But guys, I really feel strongly that we don't need their money at this stage. We need them. And when I take you back to the customer journey, you'll see that in the integration phase, we're delivering such value that by the time they are firmly in that integration phase. Okay, so let's go back to this diagram. So this is the chaos, right? Integration phase starts here. The aha moment paradigm shift. The integration phase is free. Make sense? Free and $29. This curved line up here represents the value, received value. So the received value is here. The cost line is here. Do you see how the cost line is inverted to the value line? I mean, it really should be flat here and then start to come up, right? So it's free, comes up, some very minimal cost. When they get into the back-end programs, yes, they're going to be paying fair market value, right? But they're going to be getting tremendous value freeloaded up front. The perceived value line is way over here. So the goal is to help millions of people, guys. Also, at this point, this vertical line here, there's a tipping point where they're a customer for life. And they'll be a customer for life because they'll be like, oh my God, I've gotten for free from these guys more than I've gotten from anyone ever, anywhere. And they're legitimately going to feel like they have a family. like they have found their freaking family. And that's why it's called the Wake Up Family, right? I want people to legitimately feel like they didn't find their tribe. You found your family. So Scott and Monica are working on an onboarding process for every new member of the family. We have a document that we're going to be sharing with you guys, where you have the opportunity to add in your bio, your picture, your social links and whatnot. It's a beautiful document that Scott took a first crack at. I've had my crack at it. Monica has it now. She'll be reaching out to you guys. So everybody that's part of the unit will be listed on there. And we'll have a beautiful onboarding process where Monica is going to head up the welcoming committee, so to speak. And Scott will talk to each person to start and do like a life assessment with them, take inventory of their life situation. And then the idea is that we point them in the direction of like a customized path. What like, should they go into the divorce academy? Should they, I would like also to build into this somehow, like, that everyone gets an emotion code for free within that first 30 days. That somehow we build that into the model, that we can cover the cost of that. Because if we can get someone to do an emotion code session in their first 30 days alongside the playbook, because the playbook, even though it doesn't talk about the emotion code, version 5, Polly, will talk about the emotion code. I didn't integrate that part of it in yet, because it was just, I wanted to get this next draft done. But version 5, because look, as somebody who's been doing meta stories for 20 years, you guys observed it yourself. That meta story process completely broke down when I needed it most this past winter. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and it turns out that's not a meta story. A meta story is a prayer. You can't do this without God. You can't do this without belief in a higher power. You can't. And I'm proof of that. So, and then on top of that, you can't clear these emotions yourself. You can read through a Bible, Stuart Lichtman's Bible, of the emotion, the clearing process. You can't do that on yourself. I've been trying for 20 years. I mean, you can potentially, but it's just not efficient to try and do it yourself. To have a practitioner that can sit there with you in a 30, 45-minute session, clear trapped emotions that you've been struggling with for 20 years, it's just way more efficient. Why wouldn't we pair that as something that's done in conjunction with the meta story process? Why wouldn't we? It makes sense, So that's pretty high. That's a really super high level what the customer journey and product line is going to look like. Any questions on that? And then we'll turn it over to Scott.
Not really a question, but for the onboarding process, we can get those calendars integrated in high level if we've decided on that platform, so people can go ahead and book. They get booking links.
Yeah, I think we've already made the decision. It's going to be Go High Level. Are you familiar with Go High Level, Paula?
Yes, it's actually my favorite. It's what we use. Our whole agency is on it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Fuck, it's even better. Okay.
One thing I want to add about the credit card, I'm always reticent to give my credit card, even when they say it's not required. I'm like, well, why are you asking then? I then get that resistance.
How does that work with Go High Level? Like, can we have a free 30-day? I mean, for most, it's you put in your credit card and it's the first 30 days is free. That would be a nice compromise. I feel like they know it's $29 a month, but it's 30-day free trial, and that's ballsy to give a 30-day free trial.
I would do that, no problem. Yeah,
I don't want to do. Some people do like a $1 30-day trial. Just seems gimmicky. I think like Luke Lawson with Pro Trader. He's one of our, he's one of our former students, and I signed up for his Pro Trader Academy, and he, whenever he does his marketing and whatnot, it's like $1, just for $1, you get to try for a month for $1. It seems like you're trying to bribe them. I would just as soon say it's like 30-day trial, and then it's $29 a month. If you don't cancel it before 30 days, it's $29 a month. And then that's how we vet. We don't end up having this big collection of people that really shouldn't be in there, right? Because it's going to force them out if they're not a fit for the community. So we don't have all this dead weight or dead wood accumulating. It'll keep the membership clean, so to speak. Patricia McKeon raised her hand.
Hey, Hey. Okay, yeah. So hi everyone. Jay, great to see you. Keo was so sweet when I got on just before at the beginning of the call. He remembered me, remembered I was off to Panama. It was so nice to be remembered. I had no, I didn't have a picture in my mind of what my reception would be. But anyway, yeah. So thank you for the invitation, and thank you guys for being who you are. The reason I wanted to ask actually is I wanted to ask Jay this question. I don't know where I fit in this group as far as community member, intern, this, that. It seems like you all guys have a place that you chose. So how would I go about doing that? How the hell did I end up in this room?
Yeah. So this is Wake Up Wednesday for the community, but because we missed our team call at 2:00, it didn't work. We're using this instead for the team call. But that said, if you would like to contribute to the internal team and be part of the internal team, then just message me and we'll have a conversation and talk about it and see if it's a fit. And then there's like a 30-day trial where really with no expectations, where you get to come in and kind of just be part of the group, and we get to feel out mutually whether there is a potential role potentially for you. And then after 30 days, we reassess. So it's super informal. It's all about an energetic fit. It has nothing to do with qualifications. We don't give two shits about your resume. We couldn't care less what race, creed, religion, sexual orientation, background, language.
I got it.
Unit, all energetic alignment. Think if the hand fits in the glove, it's a fit, and if it's not, it's not. And
if the hand fits in the glove, what was that famous saying? If the glove don't fit, you can't acquit.
Yeah, and everything is transparent. So there's no single conversation. There's nothing I've promised to Julie that I didn't promise to Scott. So it's like, this is very non-traditional, guys. Everything is public. Everything's being shared on YouTube. Every call is recorded and shared. Everybody knows everything. Transparency is the new currency. Authenticity is the new authority. So like, there's no like, well, don't tell. It's not like you're gonna get some sort of sweetheart deal that Christoph didn't get. Oh, don't tell Christoph this. All that corporate, like, this just is complete inverse of all of that. You know what I mean? But in that comes risk. The risk of the risk of transparency is that you will get found out. If you are a bad apple, we will all know pretty quick. But at the same time, by being this transparent, bad apples won't even make it past the initial sniff test. Because once the initial conversation is with me and Monica, and if we don't have like a full body yes, it won't even make it past that step. We're not going to waste anybody's time. And I already know, like, before we talk, like, whether energetically this fit. And Pat, like, I'll just say it right here, right now. You want to be part of the unit? Come on in. If you like, I've known you. We go back so fucking far. We go back to Liberty League, don't we?
Yeah, unbelievable.
20 years. So it's like, I was talking to Aaron Parkinson, my old business partner. We go back 22 years. Well, a lot of people have come and gone. A lot of mutual friends. A lot of people, like, he's like, so just message me on WhatsApp. Let's just have a conversation and see if it's something that you might be interested in. But the invitation is there. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I sent you a DM on one of your posts, but I'll do it on WhatsApp later.
Do it on WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jay.
Brilliant. Scott, all you, brother.
Yeah, Jay, do you mind floating up the heart for a quick second? So if we just take that through the stage, just to give people an idea of what I started with.
Yeah, where did I Where did I save that? Hold on a minute.
No worries.
Where
So, guys,
did I-
the idea was that my background is systems and processes and building out £1 million businesses on the back end, but actually it's the quality management systems that help run those businesses, meaning that all the documents have control, everything's very procedure based. It doesn't mean that you've got 17 versions of the same document sitting in 17 different folders. Everybody actually understands where they can go to. You have a very clear index mapped out process, and we'll show you a bit of demonstration about the starting off of that, because that's already been started. So a little bit of work's been done in the background just to get us to this point. But what I'm finding is, such as the recordings and things that Jay's starting to pull together, I really need now to add in a wake up unit admin folder that you guys then start helping me populate. For instance, Jay and I were talking that he's had a discussion with Keo about the Wake Up Wednesday call, the process, the starting point and finishing point. And I can help you map that out if you like, and then get the final sign off is actually your quality management system seal of approval at the bottom, which for us is for the moment, I've just named it WU, Wake Up, then QMS, which is a quality management system, then what it is, the standard operating procedure, so it might be SOP, then it's the version, and then it's the final date. So there's quite a lot on each document that then you have to update if you then decide, right, I'm going to change this process. So hopefully, if you didn't mind just explaining how a quality management system works, and that was my background for 6 years, building out businesses with those. And so I can do it quite easily, not in my sleep, but I can do it quite easily. But where it falls flat is that when people, no disrespect, then start owning other documents and then populating their own ideas and, overwriting documents and all the rest of it. So there will be very, very strict admin control on it. Whether we have a password protection idea or whatever, I don't know yet, but we'll kind of get around to that. So I started off by creating the Wake Up Wednesday, and just all I mapped out was a 12 concept as far as I saw it when I was building out, my meta story, from the playbook, what I was doing. And if we just start with that, we're just going to go through a few of the documents just to give us a bit of a flavor of where we are right now. And then as you guys build out your own individual, concepts, such as Christoph with his emotional code and, whatever Keo's doing, and Julie, whatever you're doing, then each of the sections that go with that, you'll build out whatever documents that you want for your clients to have, whether it's an individual assessment, a health assessment, a well-being assessment, and that sort of thing. So it will give you an idea of that concept. And then we'll build in the control of the documents, where I'll work with you on building those documents out, making sure the flow's right, everything's got the right brand image, working with Paulie potentially in the future, so that all the documentation sits absolutely A1. I'm quite devil in the detail, I'm afraid, guys, and I don't accept all gladly. I'm so sorry.
We have to
So
be.
if it don't need marked,
The branches of the tree, the branches, the leaves, the fruit are directly correlated to the health of the roots. And not only for the roots to be healthy, they need to be in proper soil, proper drainage, proper nutrients. So it's well manicured. We're going to run a tight ship below the surface. 0 questions asked about it, but we're going to do it in such an efficient way that is so nimble. We'll use Google Docs for everything. And we already have everything. I already have like all the root folders organized, Scott. So I don't know if you're already proficient with Google Docs or not, but we'll get, we'll get everyone who needs eventually, a wake up email with wake up access and proper sharing permissions and all of that. But
so excuse the handwritten drawing, and I'll take 30 seconds to quickly run through this. So basically the Wake Up family, the welcoming induction phase 1, across the top, the idea of the owners. So MC across the top, Monica own in that induction phase. Once the induction is then completed, I called it find the best version of you, but that was a before statement. But the idea was that I just talked to them about where they needed to go on their journey initially. But that was just an interface. Then we moved straight through to the playbook. although you might have given that free anyway, as we've described. JKO.
I'll get that in part 1. Yeah.
So then create your meta story, and then you can just follow it round. A health and wellness check-in. I put Jules down for that initially, working with James and JK. Mindset, meditation, and breath work. Again, Jules. There's some fairly heavy topics here. 10 for 10.
On that, so what I envisioned there, so like we help them do an analysis, and then in the playbook it talks about creating a daily method of operation, which includes habits of things to begin to support them in their, because remember, folks are going to be in that period of chaos in their life. So here we want to gently nudge them into like, look, this is triage, right? Let's stop the bleeding. Let's get some habits in place, get them reading James Clear, get them doing a daily meditation, a daily breath work, maybe joining a 10 for 10 if they're ready to do something that aggressive. Anyway, carry on, Scott.
Yeah, and so you move quickly through to section 8, the divorce academy or life challenges, whatever they've got going on. It might be alcohol, it might be financial, it might be anything. Then we talked about life goals, and then moving through to business, the vision for the future. Sorry, I'm skirting through this. And then we kind of named the last one that was winning at life. But, we might, as a strap line, that wasn't too bad. But anyway, that's that. And then we did the welcome and induction. Do you mind flashing that up quickly? And you've critiqued that, Jay, haven't you? You just sent it to me on Google Docs.
Yeah.
And I much prefer your version. Mine was a starting point, but... Yeah, that's the document. So I wrote a bit of a welcome and induction phase to be passed over to Monica through Jay. It did give some ideas about cheerleading, pledges, and basically this is the welcome document that they would take them through. Our mission statement. I'd written a couple of mission statement ideas. So as you can see, quite a lot of the body work has been done in the background just to start us. And then obviously we need everybody's bios. You can see them started to be listed down here. Jules, apologies, you've kind of just joined in today, so you'll be added in by all means. So everybody joining this unit and having a place within our team, as it were, will then have their bio, their socials and everything else. So, it's great to have everybody kind of dialing in. And then you've got the kind of downloads, the playbooks. They can watch an intro video, join the group. You can see the catch up on the weekly Wednesday episode. So there'll be a back copy of all the recordings that Keo's kindly helping with. Then you've got this Wake Up Family Pledge, which I thought was quite important. When I've run communities before, certainly in the UK, we've always had a pledge that the community had to act on and kind of be part of. So that was it. I mean, it was kind of a wake-up document. And then the final one, if you don't mind, Jay, was the systems and procedures. So I think that's the welcome document. There's a few bits to obviously add in and make it pretty, give it the flashing lights and gizmos. But Jay's made that document really sings now in terms of bringing people on board. So we have an onboarding process. Now here we go with the standing operating procedures. So basically you start off with all the boring stuff, the kind of governance and compliance and the corporate stuff. So you've got the legals, and if you just scroll down, Jay, there's loads to this, guys. So
so this will ultimately be assembled in what I would call the operations manual.
Yeah.
Which, if you were to print it out, is like the Bible, the business, the operations manual for the business.
So this is the indexing, but if you see at the bottom left tag corner, you can see that there's in the footer there, you'll see the quality management stamp of approval. So that's going to be the bedrock for our document control. And then Jay, if you wouldn't mind, the expanding version of that, if you don't mind, just
this
for a quick
is the
second.
expanded version.
Oh, here's the one, right? Okay, fantastic. Sorry. So when you get to the bottom, as an example, there you've got the modules. And as we build out the modules, that's where all of your content creation will come in. And at the very bottom of that, that's where I'm going to start adding in now our Wake Up admin unit. all the kind of control documentation for us working internally here. So there's a lot to be done.
As we speak, I'm going to convert this to Google Docs and share it back with you. We have also just a little exciting update, which is kind of related to this particular document. We've applied to the Business Development Bank of Canada for startup funding. for the Wake Up Co. So we just submitted the application yesterday for $100,000 startup funds, operation funds, to get us up and off the ground. And for that, we require a business plan, which this document in front of us will just flesh this out a little bit more. And within 24 hours or so, I'll have I already pretty much have other documents that I'll just kind of pull together here and assemble a business plan. So anyway, just thought I would give you guys that little update as well. Sorry, Scott, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No worries. So, guys, you can see behind us, everything will have operating procedures. And as you grow your sections of the business, you're just tagging with me, and I'll work with you to build them up to the document control that will end up turning it around. And, whilst I go through another two and a bit years of rehab, this is me sitting in the night creating all this lot, and I smile, but Jay, this has all turned around less than 24 hours, and now we're ready to go with all building out each one of those documents to submit to all of those. And whilst I'm sitting here in the nighttime going, yay, instead of screaming around the ceiling.
It's really synchronistic how it's come about, Scott. I added Scott to the group 5 minutes before Wake Up Wednesday last week without knowing he had these qualifications. It was purely on gut, on instinct. I didn't legitimately had zero clue what his real life work experience was. I added him to the Wake Up unit and then called him, and he didn't pick up. And we had the conversation after the fact. That is a result of the guy in the middle, Christoph Perrin, the work that we did clearing the emotion code. Because one of the blocked emotions I had for building the Wake Up Co. was this and we traced it back to 2015. This was after I had already built a $10 million business with Carbon Copy Pro. And we were at $4 or $5 million with Digital Experts Academy. But the blocked emotion number 6 from session number 5 was unworthy. We traced it back to 10 years ago. Here I am, I had to shut down Carbon Copy Pro. And let me tell you something, shutting down a $10 million business is it's like a train wreck. It's like, imagine that. There's no easy way to wind something down. We all think about, let's build something big. But once you've built it, then what? If it's not self-sustaining, it will collapse around you. And I was deeply traumatized from that, and I did not feel ready to build another business. I knew I needed to put the systems in place and I wanted to bring in a general manager or a CEO to run the business. But Stuart was like, nope, let's go. Let's build it while we're flying. Let's go. And I was constantly resisting, like, no, I've done that. It's going to break. It's going to break. We had that constant resistance. But that, to me, the trapped emotions were overwhelm, unworthiness, hopelessness. Those, you can see how those trapped emotions from that previous business experience would prevent me from moving forward. Well, comes full circle to here now. Well, how does God, and this is like, I don't have a choice but to believe in God, because how else are you going to freaking explain this, right? Like, Scott, you're God sent. We wouldn't be a week into building this $100 million brand if it wasn't for that foundation being in place. I don't know where I would find somebody to fulfill a role that you're fulfilling. It's like too good to be true. Because we can't run. We cannot move quickly and without this, because you can't go back after the fact and put the systems in place once it's been all sloppily constructed.
Jay, that's quite funny. I can't run. I can't even walk.
Funny.
God bless. But do you guys see how, in my mind, I'm like, we'll figure this out. I'll do my best to put in the system. But there's no way I can flow creatively without knowing their structure in place. Again, it goes back to the yin and the yang. The creative is the feminine. That's inherently unstructured, unfettered, unrestricted, unbridled. That's the creative process. But the creative process can't be done in a healthy way if there isn't structure in place to balance it out. That's the yin and yang. That's the masculine and feminine spiritually, energetically. So,
hey, Jay.
Yep.
Now I really know why my avatar is leaders, what we were talking about last time. I said we were talking about emotion code, and then I said, since long time I'm thinking on to do, or I would love to do the emotion code for leaders, because they're gonna have the most impact for the world. I love also people who are not leaders, but I think if I help a leader, it's much a bigger impact for the world. And as we see now what's happened in that short period of time, even me, I would never imagine that. That's unbelievable,
guys. And like, look, this is this is a serious moment. This is a serious moment, because when you've been given much is asked of you. So the further we step day by day into this calling, or into this movement, into this energetic flow of what we're creating, we are assuming responsibility for the impact that we're going to make, right? And you can't go back. Well, you can, but it's basically like flipping your finger at God, right? So it's like it's this two-way street. It's like God will bless us, but with this then comes the responsibility. So the responsibility of what we're doing becomes greater and greater. When we reach 1 million people in the community, it's a big responsibility, right? And if we're not impeccable with our integrity, you see, so it's a responsibility. So I feel so safe though, and so confident, because I'm surrounded by you guys. You know, I wish Michael was here. Michael, like, for example, Michael is one of those people in my life that he will just call me and just straight up tell me, Jay, you're wrong on this, or you're out of line on, like, I trust him as a father figure in that regard. Not that I don't trust the rest of you, I absolutely do. But I just say I feel so surrounded, and I feel like there's strength in numbers. Look at this.
I'm just going to finish by saying about restoring the faith as well, because we didn't miss that as a section, but you know that is so important, because I kid you not, I've been through probably the worst hell and back over the last couple of weeks. Jules and Keo know the situation. Paulie, you may not know, but I split from my partner. I ended up declaring myself homeless. I've got 5 surgeries down, 4 to go, and in 12 nights I moved literally 7 times just to get the cheapest accommodation type of thing going on. So it was a real crossroads in my life. And Jay actually mentioned about restoring the faith, and he showed a picture of him going back to church. And for me, the reason why that was so important, guess where I headed last Sunday? And I was welcomed with open arms. I now open out my bedroom window and look out to the church, and I'm within walking distance to go to the church. And they were amazing with me. They even asked me to present their story at the next church meeting, for goodness sake. So I can just say how, hand on heart, that's helped a great deal. Cutting out alcohol, having a routine, a daily method of operation that I'm now sticking to. It's just everything's changed. Everything. And it makes me deliver so much more. So much more. You're capable of doing so much more than you can think of.
We all know the circles of influence concept, right? Stephen Covey. Mm-hmm. There's 3 circles of influence. You'll never outperform the 5 people in your life that are in that inner circle. It's like you become a product of that. And the beautiful thing about the unit and the Wake Up family at large, but the unit, it's like now all of a sudden we get to control the circle of influence around us. We raise the vibration and the integrity of that group. Suddenly it's not hard to symbiotically just be in an inspired state 24/7. Like it's really unique and rare, guys. Like what we're creating here does not exist in very many places out there in the real world. It doesn't. So that's why we have to treat it with respect, and we have to protect it at all costs.
Yeah.
Because the mission and what's at stake is much, much bigger than any one of us individually. Every single one of us is expendable. The mission is not, because the mission is God. It's bigger than us. It's collective.
I I'm just adding on from what Scott said, because I picked up on that, Scott. When you're signposting people, there was nothing about faith, but maybe something like connecting with the higher power within. Now, whether people want to call it God or whatever, it's not about what we call it. It's the connection within, because, well, I personally know that it is God within, but that is another conversation with a lot of people, and they can't get past that. But, you know, just connecting with the higher power within, and also finding your purpose, because people are lost. They are in chaos. Why am I here? What's this about? You know, they're big questions, the big life questions they ask. So if we can signpost them into finding your purpose, and then we're filtering them in, we know what they need.
Yeah. So the Incubate program is specifically designed to help them find their purpose, their ikigai, their raison d'etre, whatever you want to call it, their purpose, their North Star, which is a mission for their life, a vision and mission for their life, and a set of values which are guiding principles. And that manifesto they get from Incubate is that first big deliverable from a 12-week experience. But we can gently start bringing them into that direction symbiotically by being part of the community. Because look, the book is called 99%. Talked to Brian Parsley last night. He's one of my best friends. I've known this guy since 2009. I said, well, do you know what 99% means? And he said, well, I said, no, it means I have 99% of what I need. So I used to always say, you know, every one of us has 100% of what you need to be successful in this. Every answer you need is within you. You have 100%. No. You have 99%. That last 1% is a belief in a higher power. Because if you don't have belief in a higher power, there's no such a thing as meaning for your life.
Yeah.
It's a difference between nihilism and having a life purpose. It's 1%. It's just like 1 degree from 99 degrees to 100 degrees. At 100 degrees, water boils. What happens when water boils? It creates steam. Steam can power a locomotive. It can heat a city. Steam is, all it is hot water, but it's only 1 degree different. So at 99 degrees, you have hot water. At 100 degrees, you have boiling water. You see that? So 99% is about, every single one of us is born with 99% of what we require. To become complete, we have to have a belief in a higher power. Because without a belief in a higher power, there's no such a thing as a purpose in life. There's no reason to live other than for yourself. So I don't care. In the maps of consciousness, 700 to 1,000 is enlightenment. And up in that realm are embodiments of spirit, such as Jesus Christ, Buddha, Krishna, and others. It doesn't matter which one you believe in. I genuinely am agnostic about that. I'm not, me personally, growing up Christian, as a Christian, and I had to memorize the Bible. I know Jesus, like in terms of reading scriptures and whatnot, and to the degree where I now feel like I have a personal relationship with him. But by no means am I dogmatic about it, or do I proselytize or even evangelize that you must also become a Christian. I don't care what you believe in. It's got to be something greater than yourself, though. Something up in that 700 to 1,000 level, even if it's universe. Because Jesus isn't the end all either, right? Jesus is just one embodiment he was an embodiment of God's spirit as a person who lived. And he taught some incredible, he was a really fucking cool dude. And he was literally hung on a cross because he said, look, you're not saved by your works, you're saved by your faith. And love your neighbor as yourself, and forgive, and you will have eternal life. So you're right. And people, when they're in that stage of chaos in their life, it's typically because they haven't lived a life of faith, or they're not rooted in a belief system. I know that from my own experience. I mean, I was agnostic, atheist for 20 years. So Jules, I think you can definitely help, like with your spiritual gifts and guidance and, whatever, help, build those parts into the onboarding process. And I'd love your feedback as well on the playbook.
Okay.
Really would love your contribution on that.
You know, putting it out there, Jules, as well. I put myself up for that first line transition of people coming in from Monica. She would do that because she's got such energy. I know she's on the call, maybe listening in the background, but you know, she's got such energy and a ray of sunshine, and then getting them into an elevated state, and then finding out what's going on in their lives as the life challenges, as you said. That's going to be bigger than one person. And as Jay alluded to, we're all going to be doing probably a mix of things as we go through this journey, supporting each other in various other ways, because not everybody's going to be available all of the time. And that was the way that I've had to run systemized businesses, particularly on emergency response or in the background of running big buildings, which is what I've done all of my life. So I'm treating this as that scenario, but with the value add of bringing on board the people that really can make a difference. And we really can.
Nailing down this initial onboarding interview questionnaire sort of a thing is going to be huge, is really important, Scott. So let's put a working group together for that, exactly what those, because I have ideas as well, like what questions we're asking so that it's uniform, right? So let's say Pat joins the unit, and we're like, look, we need help with the welcoming committee. Monica can't handle the volume of people coming in. We'll need to add. So in order to add people systematically to make sure that the customer experience is uniform without skipping a beat, it's got to be systematized and have like team leads on those different things, so that if one person goes down, you can quickly train and re-employ another or deploy another.
So you've got almost the front end customer journey that you've alluded to, but you've also got the back end, which is actually the delivery model.
Well, I think what should happen, Scott, is once Monica, so we have that initial welcoming committee that then hands them off to their guide, so to speak, that stays with them as their internal account rep person that acts as the customer service person, so to speak. So we don't have customer service in the sense that, oh, when you have a problem, submit a ticket and somebody will get back to you. You'll always have that, almost like in the agency world, you have an accounts person who is your point person on the inside. Who's the point person? So you have any product, any membership questions. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I, you know, I'm not sure which path to go. Is Incubate right for me? What I see as guides on the inside who can genuinely help them understand the products, what, and be a point person on the inside. I think that makes Keo could double as could potentially help with that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a great starting role for anybody that wants to be in the unit, like in the internal team. Maybe they start with that type of a role. It's a service role, it's a volunteer role, and you're just there to ensure that they've always got someone, and it's the same person too. So it's not like you get a different person every time you've got your person on the inside that you can trust. And it's not a sales role. There's no commissions paid on that role. It's like I don't want any conflict of interest in that where people are like, oh wow, I thought you were my friend and here you're trying to sell me a $10,000. People will buy what's appropriate for them to buy. I'm not worried about that. I'm not going to get them onto some sales call and we're going to close them into some back end deal. We're not going to do that shit. Doesn't mean we won't have sales calls, but it'll just be done. Good products sell themselves, guys. Good products sell themselves. Okie doke. Looks like Milo joined us. Milos, how you doing, buddy? What's up?
Hello.
What's going on? Is it snowing? We're getting dumped on out here, man.
Yeah, freezing rain.
Freezing rain? Wow. What's going on with you?
Nothing. I just sent out about, I don't even know, maybe 500 text messages. So I'm gonna go eat. Just listening in. Hello, everyone. Hi, Christoph. Hi, Keo. Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Julie. Monica.
Hi, Milo.
What up, Milo?
Hi, Polly.
I feel like I've said it a bunch of times. If you are in the unit, you get one complimentary session with Christoph. All I recommend you do is watch one of my sessions that I recorded. And I only feel strongly about that because I wish somebody had shown me. like what the process entails like a year ago, because I would have done it a year ago. I had no idea. And sometimes like they say that confused mind makes no decision, because it does sound a little bit weird and hokey and too good to be true.
Yeah, remember in Costa Rica when I was talking about.
I'm like, yeah.
We were, yeah, that's what the problem was. We were on the pool having party, and I told you that, and then you were like, yeah.
Well, just that was true. Like, how is it possible to release traffic?
Yeah. And do you remember what I told you there in the back once? It's in German. Gott lebt. Nice.
It's beautiful. It comes full circle. Well, I didn't actually realize, I'm a little late to the party, realized that David Hawking's levels mapped with consciousness has Jesus mapped up. Like, to me, that was my big breakthrough this year. It's like, because I went back through a pretty resigned and cynical phase where I was like, I lost my faith in God again. And then I realized, oh, shoot, okay, now I get it. Yeah, now it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Last thing I've got on my agenda here. So Monica asked about, well, a few of you have reached out about the 10 for 10 thing. So eventually 10 for 10 will be a component of the Wake Up community, similar to the 90-day video journey. So 90-day video journey, you're committing to doing a video every day for 90 days. Well, 10 for 10 is you commit to doing 10 things a day for 90 days. I did 10 for 10 by 100 because that took me up through the end of June. I wanted to get to the midpoint of the year. I have to say it's been utterly transformational. The psychology, the science behind the psychology of disciplined habits like that to put a foundation in place, irrefutable. James Clear, Atomic Habits, that book has been #1 or in the top New York Times bestseller list for a couple of years now. Just finished listening to it. It just freaking makes sense. You're not going to feel like doing anything on there, but I tell you what, now I'm on day, I started the running before, so today was day 28, I think, running. It's no longer takes any effort. It's a craving. I went for my run just before this meeting. Your body begins to crave it. That's the beautiful thing is it takes some discipline until it gets wired into your neurology, until the positive feedback loops get established with the dopamine and serotonin, and then it becomes second nature. So it's like, it's a lifelong, you can develop lifelong habits if you understand so you don't even need to read the book on it. But to me, the reason I'm doing it is because I cannot, under any circumstance, afford to ever go through another bipolar down like I came through. So I'm putting in place the safeguards to prevent that from never happening again. So, I mean, I've gone from being this relatively lackadaisical, easygoing, stay up late, drink when I feel like it, blah, blah, blah. No alcohol, 8 hours of sleep, 20 minutes of breath work, 30 minutes of breath work upon waking up. I do 20-minute meditation. Alarm rings at 5:55, pop the headphones on and my red light mask, listen to a 20-minute Joe Dispenza while I'm waking up, while I'm still in the theta. Then I move from there into a 20 to 30-minute breath work. And then I come floating out of my bedroom every fucking morning. You can literally come floating up. Like, that's me putting myself on and by not drinking, I'm never hungover, I'm properly hydrated. I do my hot shower, end on cold. The last thing I do before I get into bed. It's all scientifically based, stacked, the habits to make sure that I can show up in full fucking energy 12 hours a day. I've never been able to sustain this level of energy building anything. I have 1 or 2 hours of peak energy per day, and that's it. And it wasn't even my own natural energy. It was induced by caffeine, alcohol, something. But just natural, raw, pure energy. So this, again, brings it full circle to what is the Wake Up Co? The Wake Up Co is a new type of human energy company. We don't manage time. We don't manage tasks. We don't manage businesses. We don't manage brands. We manage energy. Get your energy right. And where your energy flows, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if we look at everything through the lens of untapping your energy, bring alignment into your life, and you will have sustained energy intrinsically. That's it. That's how it works. That's the secret to life, period. And we're going to prove that at an organizational level. Watch. And it's going to grow like fucking crazy, quickly.
Sorry, you're hyping me up. I just wanted to share the excitement.
Look, if our collective team vibrationally was at 200, it would be already sustainable. But we're way above that. We're probably at 500-600, which is love and gratitude, right? So if the brand is vibrating from the inside out at that level, it's impossible for it not to grow. It's literally impossible for it not to grow. Okay, that's it, guys. Unless there's anyone else, any questions, comments. So Keo, this recording here, do you want to get with me? Are you off to work? What I can provide you with is the bumpers and the music. We're just going to trim this.
It was gold.
He just that's so typical. If there's literally one dish in the sink, he goes off, like starts slamming and yelling, and like he's so OCD. He's like, he literally yells because he's deaf. He is like living with a bull in a china shop. It is an incredible test of patience to me every single day. But again, ciao everyone. So Paulie, hit me up once you've had a chance to go through version 4 of the playbook, and then let's have a conversation when you're ready about GHL, because I'm excited to get that in the works. Yeah, get that in the mix as well.
It sounds good.
Thanks,
We're
guys.
going high level.
Going high level. Yeah. Cheers.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Ciao.